Good afternoon. The Bureau of Internal Revenue files a tax evasion complaint against dismissed Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go and others before the Department of Justice. Representatives from the BIR, along with Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr., filed criminal complaints against Go, Jack Uy, and Rachel Joan Malonzo Carrion. In an interview, Lumagi says the criminal complaint follows Go's admission that she transferred her shares in Baofu Land Development Incorporated to Uy. The investigation showed that no capital gains tax and documentary stamp tax returns were filed and paid in relation to this transfer. The three will be facing criminal complaints for violating Section 254 or the attempt to evade or defeat tax, and Section 255 or the failure to file capital gains tax and documentary stamp tax returns of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997. Carrion is charged exclusively of violating the tax code's Section 250 or the failure to file or supply certain information returns. Carrion is the corporate secretary of Baofu. The BIR says it is currently auditing the entire business operations of Go in relation to the Senate hearings on her alleged ties to Philippine offshore gaming operators in her town. The BIR adds that Go will be given due process. However, the agency will proceed to file another criminal case for tax evasion if she fails to pay her tax deficiencies. On August 13, the Office of the Ombudsman ordered the dismissal from service of Go after it found her guilty of grave misconduct, which merited dismissal from service with forfeiture of all her retirement benefits and perpetual disqualification to re-enter government service. The House Committee on Appropriations agrees to subpoena the Commission on Audit's reports on the confidential and intelligence funds given in 2022 and 2023 to the Office of the Vice President and Department of Education, both led by Vice President Sara Duterte. The motion to issue a subpoena was proposed by the Makabayan Bloc composed of ACT Teachers Representative Franz Castro, Gabriela Representative Arlene Brosas, and Kabataan Representative Raul Manuel at the hearing of the committee led by Marikina Representative Stella Kimbo on Commission on Audit's proposed 2025 budget. Castro was the first one to bring up the issue regarding the Office of the Vice President, which reportedly spent 125 million pesos in confidential funds within 11 days in 2022. This finding, along with the revelation that Duterte had sought 500 million and 150 million pesos for the Office of the Vice President and DepEd respectively in 2024, triggered a public outrage and eventually led to the House of Representatives stripping both agencies of the secret funds. Duterte, who resigned as Education Secretary effective last July, previously said that she would not seek confidential funds for her office next year. During the hearing, Castro asked the Commission on Audit to produce its audit observation memorandum on the Vice President's confidential and intelligence funds. She also asked whether the state auditor had issued any notices of disallowance. In a separate statement, Castro says the government needs to know if the funds were properly used. She adds that if the Commission on Audit issued a recommendation of notice of disallowance, the money has to be returned to the nation's coffers. Duterte has yet to explain how the secret funds issued to her office and DepEd for the 2 fiscal years in question were spent. But the Vice President previously said there was nothing irregular in the way the money was spent, adding that they had already submitted the required liquidation reports. Before the motion to issue a subpoena was approved by the House Committee, Brosas argued that deliberations on the Commission on Audit's proposed budget for next year should be deferred unless it reveals its findings on the Office of the Vice President and the DepEd's confidential funds. In response, Commission on Audit Chairman Gamaliel Cordoba said they were unable to release their audit report due to the nature of the funds involved. President Bongbong Marcos awarded Filipino Olympians for their participation in the 2024 Paris Olympics following the arrival of the Philippine delegation back home on Tuesday night, August 13. The delegation was met at the tarmac of the Villamor Air Base by flag-waving school children and their family members and supporters before their convoy proceeded to the Malacañang Palace. The President, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, their children, and the country's top leaders waited for the athletes, having prepared for them an awarding ceremony and a dinner reception in Malacañang. The President awarded Paris Olympics double gold medal winner Carlos Yulo with the Presidential Medal of Merit. The medal is one of the highest awards conferred by the President to Filipinos in recognition of their contributions to sports, literature, science, the arts, or entertainment. Yulo is entitled to receive 20 million pesos in accordance with Republic Act No. 10699 or the National Athletes and Coaches Benefits and Incentives Act for the 2 gold medals he garnered. Meanwhile, boxers Nesty Petesio and Ira Villegas, who bagged the bronze medals, received 2 million pesos each. President Marcos also pledged that his office would match the cash incentive that each of the 22 Olympians will receive from the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation. The president said the coaching staff of each Olympic athlete would get 500,000 pesos as cash incentive. In a speech, Yulo thanked all Filipinos for the support that they extended to the delegation in their 2-week campaign in Paris, where the Philippine team logged its best finish since participating in the Games in 1924. The Olympians will be honored in a homecoming parade in the cities of Pasay and Manila on Wednesday afternoon, August 14. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.